Assalamu alaikum everyone! Today we will be reading the story about the best loved son.
Hi Raji, who is the best loved son?
Well, the best loved son was Prophet Yaqub A.'s second youngest son, Hazrat Yousuf A.S.
Now let's get started with the story.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The best loved son. The Prophet Yaqub A.s. or Jacob was a pious man. He lived in Canaan, some 30 miles north of Jerusalem. He and his family lived in tents. He had 12 sons. Yusuf A.S. was the second youngest. One day, Yusuf A.S. had an unusual dream in which 11 stars and the sun and the moon all bowed down to him. When his father heard about this dream, he understood that great things lay in store for his young and best-loved son. For their part being aware of their father's love for Yusuf A.S., the 10 big brothers became so resentful that they began to hate him. They would go off to look after the family's flocks, grumbling and muttering. They became so jealous of their father's love for this younger brother that they banded together and hatched a plot to kill him. One day they took him with them, pretending that they were going out for a picnic. Coming close to a well, they took him unaware and seizing him from behind. They dragged him to the well and threw him down into it. He screamed as he fell, but they paid no heed. The well was deep, but it was dried up. Yusuf A.S. landed on the bottom of the dry well with a thud. There would be no climbing those slippery sides to escape, but he was a brave boy, and he did not cry. His courage never failed him. He turned towards his Lord for help. While his dear father sorrowed for him, Yusuf A.S. lay at the bottom of the dark well for about 3 nights. In the meanwhile, a caravan from Syria heading for Egypt camped near the well. One of the caravan people threw his bucket into the well to fetch some water. But to his surprise, when he pulled up his bucket, there was a good-looking boy clinging to it. The caravan people took him to Egypt and sold him to an Egyptian prince, who was called the Aziz. The Aziz took this innocent and good-natured boy to his wife and told her to take good care of him. The years passed and Yusuf A.S. grew into a young man of remarkable beauty and charm. The Aziz's wife, whose name was Zuleika, felt very attracted to Yusuf A.S., but he kept his distance and never responded to her advances. Zuleika threatened him to have him sent to prison. In great anguish, Yusuf A.S. prayed, "O Lord, prison will be better than what I am being asked to do." But even though Yusuf A.S. was innocent, Zuleika decided to imprison him. Prison opens another chapter in the life of the Prophet Yusuf A.S. Here he met 2 prisoners. There were servants in the royal court who had displeased the king. Both of them had strange dreams, the meanings of which were given correctly by Yusuf A.S. One told him that he saw himself pressing grapes to make wine. The other said that in his dream he saw himself carrying some bread on his head, which was pecked at by birds. One of them, a cupbearer, was freed and taken back into the king's service. One day the king dreamt that 7 lean cows were eating up 7 fat ones, and 7 green ears of corn were being replaced by 7 dried up ones. No one was able to say what this unusual dream meant. At the time, at the request of the cupbearer, Yusuf A.S. interpreted the dream. He explained that in the land of Egypt, there would be 7 years of prosperity. Following these 7 years of abundance, there would come 7 years of dreadful famine. The king greatly liked his explanation. There and then, he appointed them to look after the granaries and charged him with providing enough grain to meet all needs during the foretold famine 7 years later. Yusuf A.S. had become the most trusted minister to the king of Egypt. The 7 good years passed, and then, as foretold by Yusuf A.S., there came the 7 lean and hungry years when no crops would grow and famine held the land in its grip. Back in the land of Canaan, Yaqub al-Islam and his sons were hit by the famine too. Therefore, the 10 sons traveled to Egypt in search of grain. When they came to the chief of the storehouses in Egypt, Yusuf al-Islam recognized them, but little did they know that this minister from whom they had come to seek provisions was their own brother, Yusuf al-Islam, who they had thrown into a dry well many years before. Yusuf al-Islam received them honorably and asked them about their family. Yusuf al-Islam gave them an ample supply of grain and put their money back in their packs. The brothers made further visits. Then ultimately Yusuf al-Islam revealed his identity to them and forgave them for their crime. He asked them to bring their aged parents. Finally, the family was reunited, and Yusuf al-Islam embraced his parents and did them honor by making them sit on the throne, saying, "Welcome to Egypt, in safety if Allah will." Seeing the splendor and high position of Yusuf al-Islam, they all fell prostrate as a mark of thanksgiving and awe. This, Yusuf al-Islam reminded his father, is the meaning of my dream, which my Lord has fulfilled. The dream that Yusuf al-Islam had as a boy of the sun and the moon and the 11 stars prostrating themselves before him had at last come true. That is the end of this story. Inshallah, we will continue on with the next story of the next prophet. May Allah forgive any mistakes I may have made while reading the story. Ameen.
Sumami. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe and click the bell notification button down below to be notified whenever we post a new video. Okay,
Allah
guys.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.